But it's time to talk about a classic album where we had opposite opinions on for the longest time.
Yeah, and I really need to understand why you don't like this album.
So let's go ahead and talk about it. Nas Illmatic, the 30-year anniversary, came out April 19th, 1994.
Yeah.
Nas, one of the biggest and to me the best rapper alive currently. Nas is a influential, prolific rapper when it comes to hip hop as a whole. Some people don't, really acknowledge what Nas has done for the culture, and that's all right. No, not me. I never done that.
You're not acknowledging what Illmatic did for the culture, though.
I never did that. I just never liked Illmatic. So let's go ahead and get into this. When it comes to this album, I listened to this like in middle school. So, you had to go and on the internet, you see most influential albums or top 10 hip hop albums of all time. I saw Illmatic on there, and obviously Nas has one of the most iconic album covers with the baby staring over the city. And he ain't got no edge up or nothing like that.
Yeah,
he's looking a bit dusty, kind of like this album was.
He got that album cover. It was off an older album. It was, oh man, can't think of the name of the album. I'm sorry, but keep going. My bad.
But yeah, this is an album that people say, is this better than Ready to Die? And which one would you rather listen to, Illmatic or Ready to Die? One of the best hip hop debuts of all time. And back then in that camp, I would have said Ready to Die because wow, listening to this album first growing up, I did not like this. Yeah. I did not see the appeal. And like I said, this was like middle school days. And I was like, I don't like this at all. But I also never liked any type of 90s hip hop back then. There's some 90s hip hop now that I really like and appreciate. But man, it took this year for Illmatic to really grow on me as an adult because it took a long time for me to actually go back to Illmatic. Because I'm just like, I do not like the production. I do not like the sound of it. I think the number one problem I had with Illmatic it's because I always listen to it in the car. Yeah. One time I was editing, I'm like, let me throw on Illmatic because I got to see what's wrong with this. And for me, there's certain music that you bump in the car. You don't bump in the car, you bump in your headphones. You might bump when you go into the gym. You might just bump on a record player. And this is one of those albums to me that, because I now have a fonder appreciation for it, and I actually do like the production on it a little bit more because I am older, I do got that ear now, got that old head ear. It's like when you just hit a certain age, certain production just clicks with you, man. And so when it comes to this album, I really do like it. I enjoy this album. This isn't one of my favorite Nas albums. I prefer It Was Written. I'm not saying it's better.
Amazing album.
Yeah, both are great albums.
Illmatic.
So, we'll talk. But Illmatic is one of those albums that I really never liked until this year. And
what do you not like about it?
The production a lot. The very boring, monotonous flows to me. At the time, you gotta think.
I'm talking about now. What do you like? All right.
Oh, what do I like about it now? No, I like it.
So everything changed.
Yes, everything changed, especially with the whole Nas re-listen. Because like I said, I listen to Illmatic a lot, and sometimes I would just like not listen to the beat. I just look at the lyrics. I'm like, oh man, the way he's rhyming, the way he's going at it. Because like I said, sometimes in the car, because it just sounds boring. Like they don't bump or anything like that. Bro. In the car, beat.
In the car, I'm bumping Illmatic.
And guess what? Premier got a lot of better beats on other
Later
projects than he does on the beats that he has on this project. And so, just like he does on the newest Nas song too. But
that production was
no, I'm saying he has better production than that. Than the
yeah.
Some of the production he gives on Nas, I'm like, he has better production for other people. Which I'm just like, that's kind of disrespectful.
We're gonna see what they're gonna do with this album.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. But things I didn't like about this album, I didn't like his rapping style. Okay. Like it just kind of felt like boring. Because there was no personality in it to me at the time. You know what I'm saying? Nas to me was always a boring rapper for me growing up until I heard Entitled.
So that you heard his what set him off, you heard Live at the Barbecue. Like he started this album off with Live at the Barbecue in the background. With him being like, I went for hell for snuffing Jesus at like 16 years old.
Like on the album?
Yeah, it started in the intro track.
Oh, when the train tracks is going and stuff like that?
It's in the back. Mm-hmm. Like, so have you ever heard that song that actually Live from the Barbecue song?
I probably have to actually hear it to know.
But I'm just saying, this album is 17, 19, 16, like 16 through like 19, his age, and just, come on, how you feel? Keep going.
No, I enjoy this album now, but back then, it's like, this is not an album that I would listen to in the car. Yeah. And a lot of times I listen to music in the car, because when I'm here, I'm usually editing, and I need to hear what I'm doing.
But in a New York state of mind, with the words he's spitting from the production,
like I said,
it didn't make you feel like you was in New York.
I did feel
never
like that.
forget my feeling.
I feel like that as
an
an older person. When I was younger, I'm just like, why is all these noises?
Bro, when I was younger, I felt it. When I was a kid, I felt it. Like,
but see, you gotta think as a kid, especially in the middle school, you gotta think I wasn't on this type of like music. I was heavy on the Gucci. You remember how big on Gucci?
Yeah, all the Gucci.
To me, top 10 artists for me.
No pen, no pad.
Yeah, exactly, man. No writing on the wall. Top 10 artists for me in terms of like my favorite artists.
Yeah.
I'm about to say not best.
Insane.
Top 10.
I know.
Yeah, but when it comes to that, you gotta think the production style, even though it was in the 90s, style wise still, Nas was nowhere near trap music. And trap music was the one thing I really loved growing up.
The rappers, I'm like flipping with the funky rhythm. I'll be kicking musicians, infliction, composition of pain. I'm like the Scarface, sniffing cocaine, holding M16. See what the pen I'm extreme. Bro, it's just insane, bro. Come on, bro.
No, Nas is spitting. Like I said, it took a while because I had to look at the lyrics.
Bro, him starting the album, like, you know, at the intro and then going to New York State of Mind is just so beautiful, bro.
I think he takes what Rakim did in terms of like the entire rhyme schemes and stuff like that. Took it to a whole new level on Illmatic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, geez, the way that he could paint a picture with his words.
And I just felt it's like time to start the revolution, catch a body head from Houston. Once they caught us off guard, the Mac 10 was in the grass. I ran like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin. Come on, bro. Pick the Mac up, told the brothers back up the Mac spit. Lead with hit niggas in one ran, I made them backflip. Like, it just, man, Nas was insane. This is a kid, bro. Like, oh my God, like the production's amazing. Like, I'll never forget listening to this song for the first time. I'm like, cause my introduction to Nas, I'm a young guy. My introduction is all I need is one mic, but like, who world is this? But what was the world is yours? What's the other song with him and Lauryn Hill? If I rule the world, all that I know I can be what I want.
My introduction to Nas in terms of like when I was getting into hip hop like heavily was Untitled.
Yeah. Untitled, yeah.
Like, I've heard Nas before, but he never really had like a big radio hit down here.
Like but I'm going like me, I grew up always watching, you know, all the music videos. So like me getting to Nas was like, I know I can be what I want to be in, you know, if I rule the world type. It was written Nas pretty much. But
which is a go down.
Yeah. So then once like I got like in middle school or like a little bit of like freshman year more, I can dive more into like, oh, I can go pick this stuff. This is what I like, and getting and hearing like going to go get the album and just playing it for myself, like this album just stuck out to me. It shows me like I feel why this album is this album, bro. Like the just I know people want to knock on him about production, but the production on this album is not bad.
No, it's not.
It's really good. And just lyrically, bro, he was insane at this age. It's like what he was doing, bro. Like what this what this album means, bro, and just going to the history of just the Live at the Barbecue and with like Large Professor like putting this dude on and like this guy becoming one of the greatest MCs ever. Just, I don't know, bro. It's like, I hate that I feel like Nas should be, even with his monthly listeners, bro, like he's like, yeah, bro, he's like amazing. Like he also has like mainstream, you know, he has that, not appeal, but he has everybody know who Nas is. But I feel like his popularity is not what it should be. I feel like his numbers,
like relevancy.
Yeah, I feel like his numbers don't reflect the career, the work. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I'm like, damn.
But that's because I feel like he doesn't have radio or mainstream appeal like a Jay-Z does. Jay-Z has some huge hits growing up.
Most definitely.
Nas did not compared to Jay-Z. And that's one of those things where it's like Jay-Z's gonna give you those hits, but he's not better lyrically than Nas to me.
Yeah, no.
But Nas, he's better lyrically, but to me, he cannot craft a song like Jay-Z. Like a song is
it's like the new age of like Kendrick and Drake. But Kendrick just had those radio hits and Nas didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. So it's one of those things where it's like Nas, I get exactly where you're going at, but I can see why.
Yeah.
Because I
can see it too.
I tried to put my girl on Nas. She says he's boring.
Yeah.
And I can see why. Because I told you, Illmatic, I don't like Nas Illmatic like that back then. Yeah. I enjoy it now, and I appreciate it a lot more as a grown-up and looking back at Nas's catalog, especially doing that whole re-listen and listen to the first time through that I did a few months ago. I have a bigger appreciation. I do prefer his King Disease and Magic series a bit more in terms of like runs for albums. What run that you love from Nas where he's like, oh, back to back to back to back to back? What 3 album run do you think?
No. I'm just, you're talking about a run. I don't, you know me, I don't really do the run conversation, bro. But I'm just saying, like,
There's no.
I'm just to me, I'm like Illmatic, King's Disease Run. Illmatic.
Oh, well, yeah,
I'm gonna listen to Illmatic 3 times.
But I think the thing is, for me, the reason I like a King's Disease a lot more than Illmatic now is because one, it's modern production. It shows that Nas is still there lyrically. He's giving you the OG
He's
status.
always
like,
there lyrically. Bro.
Yeah, he is. But sometimes
Hit Boy
his
production.
Nah, if you dog, all of Nas's albums, some of them get rocky at times.
Magic Fire, bro. I only listen to King Disease 1 and Magic 1.
You need to listen to King's Disease 3, god dang it. It got nominated for a Grammy.
I will, but no. Didn't it win? It won a Grammy, right?
Killer. King's Disease 1 did, yes.
Okay, King's Disease 1. One of them, 2. I think 2. That's
Maybe
the one
2.
with the like golden block bricks, or that 3?
No, 3 is one.
2 is the one with his face.
Yeah, where it's just
like
to the
him.
side.
Yeah, like
Oh, such a good album too.
Yeah.
Ooh, such a good album. But Illmatic is one of those albums where, to me, it was a grower.
For you?
Yes, for me. I could no. Illmatic is a shower for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those albums that
you talking in weenie? You talking about weenie? BBC podcast? Oh my god, bro's hair. It's a grower. We might have to start a corporate like, is it a grower or a shower?
Remember I told you, me 10 out of 10 inches, me.
Yo, you're disgusting, bro. I didn't even I'm like, it's a Illmatic's a shower, bro. That's insane.
It is,
no, that album's amazing.
Because when you look at the lyrics, when you hear the lyricism, some of the production as well. Well, I will say that this album isn't for everybody. Yeah. This is literally an album for hip hop heads.
Yeah.
But you can find appreciation. You can find things to love in this album. I was getting made fun of in the Discord because I liked Illmatic.
What? They call it yap rap?
No, they were saying like Chase with the album, Chase forcing himself to like older music because he's a hip hop fan. I'm like,
my god!
I'm like, this is nuts.
What's your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song. There was one song with DJ Premier, not the first one, even though that's a good song. But my number one favorite song, is that what you're asking me for?
Yeah. My
number one favorite song, I like Represent. I do like World Is Yours. Life's a B is really good too.
Him and AZ?
Yeah. I think I had to go with Represent. That's the one that's produced by DJ Premier, right?
Yeah. My favorite.
Yeah, I think I had to go with Represent, dog.
I think my favorite track, I don't know, ain't hard to tell. It's like I love the outro. I love that beat. I love that, bro.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Shout out to Digging the Greats. I think he just did a breakdown of that song.
Yeah, he did?
Yes.
That's what's up. But nah, man, I just love how he ended the album off, bro. That production was dope. And then he was just smooth rap, just being not, bro. Oh, my God, I love this album. Like, I can talk about it, bro. Like, it's
I can listen to this album back to back now.
Yeah, I'm like, I always trying to wrap my head around. I just want to know why you didn't like it. Like, this is why I was ready to do this review. Because I'm like, why do you not like it?
I told you, it's the sound. It's not nothing against the actual lyrics or lyricism like that, because he's spitting. I never denied that. It's the actual sound and production. This wasn't my production style, especially growing up. Because you gotta think, B, Gucci Man, Zaytoven, Mike Will made it and all them, to this. You can understand why middle school chasing like this. I didn't revisit it because I had a lot of other Nas albums that I prefer over this one. Yeah. And I'm not saying that those albums are better.
You just preferred it more.
Yeah, I just prefer it more in terms of production, sound, like overall. Like overall, to me, those albums to me, they suit my ears better than Illmatic does. And I'm not saying Illmatic is bad, because obviously Illmatic is one of Nas's points where he's at his highest lyrically. And you can't say that about a lot of his other albums, even though he is rapping his butt off on a lot of other albums. But in terms of consistency, quality, Nas is up there, 10 out of 10 project when it comes to Illmatic. Yeah. But I think when it comes to sound-wise, like what I enjoy listening to, well, I could be like, oh, I want to go back to that.
So it was like, it was too dated. Like, you knew it was like...
Mm-hmm. Like, it just sounded too old to me. And you know, back then, I didn't like the mixing on a lot of songs back then, where to me, the vocals sounded a bit too muddy compared to the actual...
You know, that's that golden era.
Yeah, I get it, and I understand it, which is why sometimes I don't knock it for certain things like that. But in terms of, like, preference, like, I like Untitled. To me, Untitled is, if not my favorite Nas project. Yeah. Because I do like the growth. Even though Nas is, like I told you before, he's the, like, woke rapper before woke was woke. And so, Untitled... the maturity that he shows. He's a
plebiscite babbler. Yeah. He just be saying stuff like that.
No, but I think like
I like Nas over here.
Yeah, but Untitled is like my favorite project from Nas besides King's Disease 3. I love King's Disease 3 because of the production. Nas attacking that album all on his own with one feature, one producer, which is also a nod back at Nas's Illmatic, because back then, rappers would just only have like one producer throughout the whole album. Nas was like one of those people that had multiple producers on the album, which was kind of like an unheard thing. He didn't have that many features on there as well. While in the King's Disease series and the Magic series, he has one producer, kind of going back to that 90s era of you only mess with one producer, they produce the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
And then the way that Nas touches on things in King's Disease 3, like looking back, like, oh, I can't believe Pete Rock act like that. That makes you want to give Rack back, something like that. Where I'm just like, I really love that perspective of like going back and be like, oh, because of all the stuff that happened in the middle of Illmatic and now where my career is gone, the game I can give to you guys, I'm not really on that. Oh yeah, I got this, but you could get it too type stuff.
Because he on his business stuff too, bro. He's an entrepreneur out there, bro. Nas making moves, bro, with the whole mass appeal stuff, and I think he has like a restaurant. He got a shoe store, stuff like that in Vegas, bro. Nas came a long way, bro, and man, I really appreciate Nas, bro. This album is like one of my top 10 hip hop albums of all time. The rapping, from production, the people he collaborated with, is just people I still, bump today. And me, I always like an old soul when it came to music, even when it comes to hip hop music. My West Coast, OG West Coast music, golden era hip hop, even though I didn't grow up in it like 94, this brings the conversation of 94 having the best year in hip hop ever, and that's the year I was born. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. 94 is just insane, bro. Come on, bro. If I go down and listen to albums that came out in 94, bro, it's insane. Doing that.
I'm talking about you bringing your year into
me being a part of one of the greatest things that was contributed to the world.
So I guess you was one of the best releases of 1994 as well.
March 3rd, I was the best release that, you know what I'm saying?
No, that was what Rent was due. That's the horrible release right there.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, dude, this album right here, Nas rapping just at his age, and just the flow is just, he did it so effortless, bro. And just me, like, just reading his lyrics is like, it's like sometimes when I do with MF Doom, sometimes I just read, and like Nas he's telling like a story, bro, and he paints the picture so well. And like you said with the internal round screens, he's just like, he was Rakim like doubled, you know what I'm saying? Because Rakim was just, he chased the game, you know what I'm saying? So
I highly acknowledge
like
that.
Man, like you listen to Follow a Leader, it's just like he start that.
That's not paper.
That's the second, bro.
Second
He
album.
start that album.
Spin.
I follow him into this. Oh, bro, the production. Oh man. But anyways, him and Big Daddy Kane.
I was about to say I like Big Daddy Kane more than Rakim.
Oh man.
Sound wise,
rapping. What, like,
sound wise, like in terms of like voice, like I'm like, ooh,
I like both of their voices.
like they got that. He got the.
But Big Daddy Kane is more than smooth. He's smooth as hell, bro. But nah, Nas, man, this album right here, bro, is just it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's that album that's like, oh, I want to get to hip hop music, and like I'm gonna look up the top so and so. This album gonna be in the top 5 regardless. This and like Ready to Die, you mentioned, maybe a Tupac album, maybe maybe 36 Chambers. Yeah. It's like, it's one of those, it's those essential albums, you know what I'm saying? It's them albums you have to listen to. You can't call yourself a hip hop head and not know this album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We need to make a list one day of top 10 albums you gotta know as a hip hop fan.
Yeah, we should do that, bro. But like Illmatic is that album, bro. Man.
So B, I gotta ask you.
What?
Ready to Die or Illmatic?
Illmatic.
Oh, okay. Same.
Yeah, I say Illmatic. Even though Ready to Die, I love Ready to Die, but Illmatic is to me, is to the point. 39 minutes, 10 tracks is right there for me. But Ready to Die is...
Ready to Die.
Ready to Die is...
It's nothing to mess with.
Nah, it's not, bro.
It's nothing to mess with.
But
If I had to go with
me,
best debut albums or just best albums of all time in hip hop,
those
two are right there.
You never know. You ask me next month, I might say Ready to Die though. But I love those. I love both of them albums. Yeah. But Illmatic is the album that I listen to way more. Yeah. But
man, 30 years of Illmatic, man.
That's insane. And this would be 30 years of Ready to Die as well.
Because it came out in 94.
It came out in 94 as well.
Yeah, we'll do a little look back on that as well.
Oh my God.
That's an album that instantly clicked for me.
Man, oh yeah, Machine Gun Funk. Oh my God. Like how he started that album off, bro. Give me the loot. Man, I can't talk about Big.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about
But just says, oh man, that album right there.
But Illmatic,
Illmatic is that album, bro. So.
Hey, so if you haven't listened to it and you're a fan of hip hop, you need to listen to it. Yeah. Look at the lyrics if you don't like the beats like I did. And you'll really see where Nas is coming from, because we got to also remember, just to help put perspective in there, people weren't doing internal rhyme schemes like that really before Rakim. Rakim was the one person that really introduced it, and Nas took it to a whole nother level, especially with his lyricism, his pen game, and the way that he was doing things. And Nas is still a trendsetter even when it comes to style, because with the cover art of Illmatic with the baby face on there and him just looking over the city, him always talking about like on the King's Disease series how he was the first one to like really bring change into the rap game and things like that.
Cause Nas would, like, you look back at him, bro, he used to be flying everything too with the chains, bro. Had the little smooth hairline with the fade, you know what I'm saying? Puffer jackets, bro. I remember the time, I think it was DJ Academic said he read up on Nas, and Nas had that joint on, like, hey, bro, I don't know you, bro. I'm trying to get back, bro. It's just so crazy, man. Hey, Nas, bro. Nasty Nas, bro. They used to call him because some of the stuff he used to rap about was like, he's me on that like horrorcore stuff. I told you, bro, he said he went to hell for snuffing Jesus, bro. Come on, bro. He took him out, you know what I mean? So
man, he had some really good features around that time too in the 90s.
oh yeah, but he was man, that Live at the Barbecue is what set him off. Even though I wasn't born, I just had to go back and do the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, Illmatic, one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, one of the greatest albums of all time. 10
out of 10 inches on this podcast
hey,
right
yeah,
here.
Bro, and it's a short.
BBC,
that thing long.
BBC certified.
Nasty way.
You talking about it's long.
There we go, bro.
But oh man.